can answer any additional questions at the end. So again, thank you so much for being here. My name is Amy Williamson. I am the manager for the City of Sacramento's Financial Empowerment Center. So I just want to welcome you all here again. The purpose of this event is to give you an overview of our FEC services and how you can get connected with those to meet our team, and just think a little bit about how it might be of benefit to you. So just real quick, I'll give you an overview of our agenda for today. So first we'll be hearing from our council member, Mai Vang, who represents District 8 here in the city of Sacramento, to share some thoughts about how the FEC connects to the city's goals. And then I will be giving you an overview of the big picture of what the FEC is. And then you'll be hearing from one of our financial coaches, Marcia McLean, to talk a little bit more about what you can expect getting started as an FEC client. And then our FEC manager, Maureen Paley, will be talking about how you would make an appointment, how to get connected with us, how to take that next step. And then we'll open it up to questions and thoughts that you might have about all of that. So that's the overview. Welcome to anyone who's joined us late. So again, my name is Amy Williamson. I'm the manager of the Financial Empowerment Center for the City of Sacramento. And I want to let our council member kick us off with some thoughts about the FEC and about our city's goals in general.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Really great to be in virtual space with all of you. It is a Friday, and so the fact that you're here joining us means a lot. I know that there are probably other webinars, events, meetings, things that you can tend to, but you're here. And so really value your time. And I hope that you will be able to learn a lot about the Financial Empowerment Center. As Councilwoman for District 8, it's incredibly important for me to ensure that we're able to uplift every resident, especially here in South Sacramento. And I know that our city council has made it really clear through multiple actions, its commitment to prioritize and implement programs and strategies and programs such as FEC to make sure that we promote inclusive economic and community development throughout our city. And I really believe that the Financial Empowerment Center is a great opportunity to help our residents to really build financial health. I've had also the opportunity to speak with some of the residents who actually went through the program, and they have shared with me how much it has helped them in getting their finances together, learning how to build a budget, and really learning how to reduce a debt and increase their credit. Many of them that I spoke to shared with me about struggling with debt and also prioritizing spending. But what I heard that was most beneficial from the residents that went through the program was really the one-on-one counseling that participants receive to meet their financial goals. For me, at the end of the day, this program is truly about empowering residents to take agency of their own finances and improve their livelihoods. For me also, as Amy was sharing this program with me when I first came in, and then now speaking with the residents, it's really about investing in people at the end of the day. It's about investing in them, giving them the skills and capacity to increase their own economic security. What's really awesome about the program also is that the services have no income restriction. And best of all, it's actually free, right? And so really want all of you to share that information or to sign up to be part of the program. One thing I asked the residents that went through the program was, what did you enjoy most about the program? Folks definitely said the one-on-one, but I had a conversation with another resident earlier this week, and she shared with me, we had a conversation about how oftentimes within certain families, right? My family doesn't represent all families in South Sacramento, but in my family in particular, we really don't talk about finances in the home. And she talked about how having these one-on-one counseling session really helped her to get out of that and to talk about the importance of financing. And now she's able to teach her own children about finance. I think that's something that's really powerful. When we think about equity and investment in people, I see this program as a piece of this, right? A piece of making sure that we inform people that they truly do have agency and power over their own finances, and that they could really reduce their debt and increase their credit. And this is one way to do it. Again, the program is free. There is no income restriction, and really encouraging folks to utilize this program. Again, just want to take this opportunity also to thank Amy and staff and Maureen, everyone, and all the one-on-one counselors that's doing the heart and hustle every day working with our residents. Want to give a shout out to you. as I always say, it's always the people that makes it happen. It's never the elected official, but it's the people that has the vision to make sure that this becomes a reality. So enjoy the webinar, take it all in as a sponge, and I hope that all of you are able to learn a lot today. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Bang. Really appreciate you being here. And that's such a great, I really share that sentiment. I mean, I have the good fortune to be the manager on the City of Sacramento side for this initiative to make sure that it sustains and continues. But really the rest of the folks here that you're going to meet today are the folks who are doing the work in the community. So I appreciate all of them greatly. And I mostly want you to hear from Marcia McLean, who's one of our financial coaches. But before I hand it over to her, I do just want to give a little bit of background about the FEC to put it in context before she talks more about what to expect as an FEC client. So I'm just going to go through this. I mean, the council member Bang covered some of this, but the important thing to know about what the FEC is and what we do is that it is free professional one-on-one financial coaching. So by professional, we mean that our whole team has gone through extensive training, and that includes both about financial content and also coaching skills, because both of those are equally important when you're providing this kind of support to folks in the community who need it. So they've gone through all this training. A lot of, most of them have extensive experience also in past positions with this type of work. And then they also, in order to be part of this particular network of FECs, they have to pass an exam before they do their work. So all of them have passed that exam and had to do that before they started working with our clients. So that's really important to know. The service, like the council member said, is available to all local residents. That's residents of the city and county of Sacramento. That is our boundary. And they do have to be 18 and over, but that's really our only requirements, 18 and over in Sacramento County. So we don't have an upper income level requirement. We do, because of what we do, we're not certified financial planners. So our coaches don't get into investment advising, or they're, looking at specific retirement funds or anything like that. But they're more working on financial basics, which Marcia will talk more about in a few minutes. But, there is no upper income limit for that service. It's important to know that this is our local FEC is part of a network of 35 financial empowerment centers in the US. And I've put the link up there if you're interested, if you have family in other cities, to see if there's this service available to them as well. You can go to this fecpublic.org site to see where the other locations are. All of us follow the same standards, that exam standard that I was just mentioning. Each of those 35 FECs implements the work in the community in partnership with a community-based organization. So I work for the city, but the rest of our FEC team works for our lead local partner, which is the Sacramento Office of International Rescue Committee. So our team that you'll meet today works for Sacramento IRC. All of them, like I said, are trained and certified. They're ready to help you. The service is available directly in both English and Spanish. Luis, who you see here today, is our Spanish-speaking coach, so we're glad that he's here. We're glad the whole team is here. And then we also do have an interpretation service. So if there's folks who are interested in participating but don't speak one of those languages, there is a service that we can work out for that. I do want to say that we did launch, we built this program in late 2019 and early 2020, and we were intending it to be an in-person service. So this is a story you've all heard about, a lot of different things over the past couple of years. We were going to have this service available in person in 10 different locations throughout the city of Sacramento. Clearly, because we ended up launching in April of 2020, we had to pivot very quickly and we're not able to do that. So 100% of the work that we've done over the last couple of years has been virtual. So we have our counseling and coaching appointments available either by phone or by video chat, whatever folks are more comfortable with. So we've served just over 700 clients these last couple of years. And when you hear Marcia speak in just a moment, you'll hear that they come in with a lot of different goals. They've had a lot of different achievements. And you can see the link here at the bottom of this page. This is a link to our client stories page. So the council member just talked about some of the folks she spoke with who have had a good experience with our coaches, but there's lots more stories that you can read about there to sort of get a sense of the different types of things that people come in to work on. So with that, I want to just briefly introduce you to the team with Sacramento Office of IRC that do the work. So Maureen Paley is our manager for the initiative. So she supervises our team of 4 coaches. So we have 4. One of them is currently out on medical leave. So you'll see 3 of them here today. So Kurt Lewis, Marcia McLean, and Luis, who I mentioned, Luis Sanchez. is our team here today. So they are the ones that you'll be meeting with when you set up an appointment. And now with that, I just would like to hand it over to Marcia to talk a little bit more about the content and types of work that coaches do with clients.
Thank you, Amy. Okay, so again, I'm Marcia McLean. I'm one of the financial coaches on the team. So as you can see here on the slide, some of the things that we work with clients are, it's a range. It can be anywhere from, I need some cash to make it through the month, all the way through purchasing a vehicle, saving for college, and even buying a house someday. We kind of meet clients where they are. So depending on what the client talks to us about, what their goals are, will drive, the relationship and the conversations that are going to happen during the coaching relationship. So some of the things that we do help clients work on, which are steps working towards these goals that I mentioned, we kind of focus in the areas of helping clients to open and establish safe and affordable banking. So that's access to accounts and credit unions, of course, banks and credit unions, access to accounts, safe and affordable accounts. We kind of use the Bank on Sacramento standard for recommending safe and affordable accounts for clients. We also focus on establishing and improving credit. So there might be clients who don't even have a credit profile, may have a very thin credit profile, or might want to clean up some things that may have happened in the past. We work with them on that. Also reducing debt, and that could be just reducing your spending, starting to track and manage your expenditures, all the way to reducing credit card debts, reducing the amount that customers are paying in interest, and a lot of other things in that category as well. And then building savings. So building savings, talking to clients about putting away money, putting away, even the smallest amount, starting with a week's worth of income. But anything, like I said, meeting the client where they are. If they can even save $20 a week, we look at a budget. And we talk and help them to start to establish those kinds of goals. So what the client can expect in the first meeting, it's going to be kind of like an onboarding. We're going to kind of make that assessment. Where is the client? We're going to look at their current financial situation. And then from there, we're going to set up that plan. So we'll talk with the client, kind of figure out what their goals are, where they want to go. And then we're going to establish a plan with the client for getting there. And again, that could include many of the things that I talked about, and then, a lot of other things as well. So basically the client will work one-on-one with the coach to get information, the coach's expertise and the skills and resources that that the coach has that will help the client get to those goals that they communicate to the coach. And the relationship kind of goes from there. And then depending on what the client's goals are, we also offer a lot of products right here, which I really enjoy being able to do, that we can offer to our clients that will actually help them to get to these goals that they want to establish. So I think that is about it. Let me know if I missed anything. And Maureen will talk more to you about how to connect with the coach and get that relationship going.
Great, thank you, Marcia. So before Maureen chimes in a little bit, I just want to note, I don't see any questions so far in the chat or the Q&A, but this would be a great time for attendees, if you're starting to have questions, more specific questions about what we do, please put those in the chat and the Q&A sections, and I will, myself and the team will answer those once we're through with the main presentation. So feel free to use that feature. So with that, Maureen is going to talk a little bit about how you make that next step of making an appointment with us and how that happens.
Great, thanks Amy, and thanks Marcia for that great rundown. As Amy mentioned, this service is available for anyone 18 years or older in Sacramento who needs it. So we're excited to offer it to our community. And getting in touch is fairly straightforward. So we have the phone number that's right at the top of Amy's slide here, the 808-4927. You can call that at any time. I usually answer that phone, so you may get me answering. If I don't answer, you can always leave a voicemail, and we'll generally get back to people within about 2 to 3 business days. You are also welcome to email us at fec@cityofsacramento.org. So if you're in the community, or if you have a friend, a sibling, a cousin, if somebody in your community, you're like, oh, this person's struggling and they can maybe use some coaching and some support, please feel free to share these. So anyone in the community can access us that way. And as Amy mentioned, there are several community organizations in Sacramento that we partner with. So we have close relationships with those community organizations, and the folks that come to those community organizations, they can refer people to us. So if you happen to be on the call today and you are part of a community organization that might be interested in developing a more formal partnership with us, please feel free to reach out to Amy. Amy's email is right there. Even if you called on the phone or send it to the FEC@City of Sacramento email, we can get it to the right place. So I think that's all. Amy, anything else I can cover?
I don't think so. Like Maureen said, it's pretty straightforward getting in touch with us. We're pretty accessible, and our goal.
The phone number and the email, I should say, are on the city's website. So as you can see right in the middle of this slide, Financial Empowerment Center has a spot on the city website platform. So this is posted and available 24/7.
Also at the website, there is a place where you can download the flyer for our FEC. So if you want that for yourself, or if you have other friends or family that you would like to share it with, the flyer is a great way to do that. It really outlines very simply what we do and how you can connect. There's also a little link here to a Facebook video that we did. It's just a 1-minute sort of promotional video that explains the FEC. That's another way to review this information or share it with your friends and family. And then I also did put in the website for the local office of the International Rescue Committee, since that is our main partner. But other than that, I mean, I guess the only thing I would add, Maureen, is that our goal is usually to make sure to get back to people within 48 business hours, I should say. We do sometimes have evening and weekend appointment availability, but generally we're not getting back to folks about scheduling appointments on the weekend. So if you contact us now on a Friday, it might not be until Monday or Tuesday that somebody gets back to you, but usually it's within 48 business hours that you'll hear back to get that appointment set up. So aside from that, I think that's great. And now I really just want to open it up to questions that you have. So I just see one question here so far. So this person has asked, how often and how long are counseling sessions? So Marcia, do you want to answer that both in terms of the initial session and then also follow-up sessions?
Yes. So the initial session is going to be a minimum of 30 minutes. It could take up to an hour. And again, that would depend on the client and, the situation and the particular goals. But typically the first session is going to definitely be at least 30 minutes. After that, the number of sessions, again, depends on the goals that the client has and how long it takes for the client and the coach to work towards those goals. So it could be 3 sessions, it could be 15 sessions. So it just it varies a lot in particular scenarios.
Yeah, we don't have a maximum number of sessions. Sometimes that's dangerous to say, but we love people who want to connect with us on multiple occasions. And the coaches are really good at making a follow-up plan and figuring out how much time is involved with each step toward the goal, and then therefore how much time should elapse before the next session. But you're always welcome, even if you achieve the goal that you first came in to work on with a coach, and then you're kind of going along for a while and then something else comes up, you're always welcome to get back in touch and reestablish that coaching relationship. So thank you, Marcia. So I don't actually see any other questions at the moment. Oh, just as I said that, this has come up. So this attendee is asking, is there an end date for this program? So that's an excellent question. So the way that we launched this initiative was as a 2-year pilot here at the city. So we're kind of getting toward the tail end of that 2-year pilot. But our plan is to be making a budget request to continue this work into the next fiscal year and beyond. So our intent is for this to be an ongoing service of the city of Sacramento. So we are still sort of in our pilot phase, but we're sort of making that transition into being hopefully a permanent service here at the city. So. Okay, we've got another question while I was answering that one. So this attendee is asking, how is this funded? Does the county help fund it too? That is a very timely question. So the way that the pilot phase works is that we have support from the national organization that supports the launch of all these different 35 centers in the network that I mentioned earlier. So that organization is called Cities for Financial Empowerment. It's based in New York. And so they provide some grant funding for the first 2 years to get it off the ground. And then we also had some funding here locally from a few financial institutions. Those are highlighted on our website. If you go look at that, we had a couple of foundations chip in as well. But the city did actually put in money for the pilot phase as well. So it's a combination of city, of Sacramento, some local financial institutions, and then that national supporter for right now. The county is very interested in being a partner. They have been a partner so far just in terms of referrals. They have referred folks who are participating in their various public benefit programs to the FEC. But I just actually reached out to them this week to say, you know, we've had this referral relationship. We'd love to have a stronger relationship going forward, you know, to grow this service here in the community. So we're hoping that the county will be a partner of ours in that sense in the future. There's no funding from the county at this moment, but we do serve the whole county. Those were the 3 questions that I saw. Oh, wait, let's see. That was the Q&A. Let me go over to the chat. Okay. That was something different. So I don't see any additional questions at this time. We can certainly stay on for a few more minutes here, maybe until 3 o'clock, just to make sure that there aren't any additional questions that come in. But maybe while I'm waiting to see if any other questions come in, are there any other thoughts that any of the coaches who didn't speak would like to share about the work that they do that hasn't been mentioned so far by the rest of us? Putting you on the spot.
Well, no, not so much the work, but I would just add in that, you know, it could be a great accountability, you know, partner piece for you as well. So, you know, I have plenty of clients that do understand budgeting and they do, you know, have a basic understanding, but they would like to have someone to talk to about that on a regular basis and to even hold them accountable, just someone to check in with, you know, that makes them a little more likely to want to strive to reach those goals. So that's just another point I wanted to throw out there, another benefit.
I think Kurt was going to add something as well.
Oh, I was just going to, thanks. Yeah, I was just going to add that, of course, just as a reminder, everything that's shared, as is typical in any kind of coaching or counseling relationship, this is all 100% confidential. And I think that you're going to find amongst all the coaches is just people with great heart and knowledge and passion for coming alongside and supporting you in a safe environment where you can share all the challenges that you're facing that are keeping you from reaching some of those important life goals that you have that need some financial resourcing. So if anything, just know that this is a safe place that you can go, and we look forward to hearing and connecting with you and seeing you be successful in that relationship.
Thank you for that, Kurt. That's very important. You know, when we plan this to be an in-person service, which of course we do hope to going to be back to being an in-person service if we can get past this surge and get past this pandemic. We actually did site visits to make sure that the partners that we had adequate personal space, private space for these financial conversations, because we know sometimes this is sensitive information. So we have continued that as we've transitioned to virtual as well, the confidentiality. So thank you, Kurt. There was one other question that just came in. this attendee is asking, is this program offered in any other language besides Spanish? So here locally, English and Spanish are the only languages spoken directly by the members of our FEC counseling and coaching team. The IRC does have a service, an interpretation service that we can bring to bear on this if we have community members who don't speak either of those languages who are interested in participating in the coaching. So when you either if you directly or if you're helping someone who is speaking one of those other languages to make an appointment request, please just note that in your email or on your voicemail that you leave for us, and we'll work on accommodating that. Let's see, hop over to the chat. Heather Fargo, that's probably our previous mayor, Heather Fargo. Thank you for being here. Unless we have two in the city. Also says, would love to have Los Rios Community College District help fund and then offer to their students. Yes, so they have been on our outreach. I think because of the nature of the time that we launched, we haven't necessarily built all the partnerships that we might have in a non-pandemic time, but that is definitely on my wish list as well. So I will continue to work on connecting with them, because we know that there are a lot of financial struggles for students who are attending our local community colleges. Heather says, yes, it's me, and I am researching this program for my community. Thank you, Heather, for being here and for refreshing that idea.
Amy, this is Maureen. If it's
Sure.
okay, I just want to quickly share a little bit of information about the training that the counselors and coaches go through.
Yes,
I myself have had to participate in that training as well. And what I can tell you is it's thorough, it's rigorous. We do training with some nationally recognized organizations to make sure that the training is very much in scope of the financial coaching profession. A profession that's deployed with ethics in mind as well. And the coaches, our whole team, we have the benefit of also being in this network of the financial empowerment centers across the country. So we are regularly in touch with other coaches. And we're regularly we have our ear to the ground as part of that network with ideas for solutions for people, or a strategy ways we can help somebody. And in addition to that, we have a weekly team meeting where we talk out some things, we problem solve together. We find ways to kind of solve a puzzle that a client might be working on and brainstorm ways to best support our folks. So I wanted to share that as well, because I think it speaks to the work that our coaches do to stay fresh in their skill set and in their knowledge and what they can offer for the folks that come our way.
Thank you, Maureen. That's great. And just to be clear, in those sessions, the confidentiality still applies. So if coaches are talking to each other about clients, there's no names or identifying information.
Indeed.
It's usually just limited to the financial issue at hand.
Yes, the confidentiality still applies.
Yes. Well, I haven't seen any other questions arise. Any other thoughts from our team? All right. Well, you all have multiple ways here to get in touch with us. If you're interested in either setting up an appointment with one of our coaches, reading about some of the clients that we've worked with over these last couple of years, or reaching out if you work for a community organization and would like to talk about referring the folks that you work with. So I think with that, I will say, please send us any other questions that you think of later. And we so appreciate you being here on a Friday afternoon, and have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you. Take care.